Look at this. The Triumph 1200 Tiger. This is the XRT, which is the road version, or you can get the XCA, which is spoked wheels, and the off-road version, aluminium belly pan. This has got a plastic one. This is more for the road, but essentially the same bike. Arrow exhaust on this one, LED fog lights. Oh, what a beauty. Catch you inside. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel and the series of videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So here, look, in my attempt to find the ultimate tourer for me, I'm kind of looking back at the adventure bikes. I've got this Triumph 1200 Tiger, this road version, really, the XRT. And, well, let's go through some specs, shall we? So it's got the 1215cc engine. It's a 3-cylinder, dual overhead cam, liquid cooled, 12 valves. Lovely. Now this is 139 brake horsepower, which is 104 kilowatts and 122 newton meters. It's fuel injected. It's got ride-by-wire technology on it as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Shaft drive, 6-speed, and it's got this tubular trellis style frame as well. Wheels, these are the mag wheels, and these are 19-inch front, and they are a 17-inch rear. For the XCA, the off-road version, you've got spoked wheels, essentially. Tubeless tiles, front and rear. Now, the great thing about this bike is it's got electronic suspension. Different rider modes that you have. You've got road, rain, sport, off-road. The suspension is automatically adjusted for you. Marvellous. The front suspension here, you've got upside down forks with 190 millimeters of travel, and the rear you've got a monoshock there with 193 millimeters of travel. It's got a side stand and a center stand, and you've got twin discs at the front for your braking, 305 millimeters with 4 piston calipers from Brembo. On the rear you've got a single disc with 282 millimeters and a 2 piston brake caliper. It's got switchable ABS, traction control, it's got cruise control, all the gubbings that you want. So the TFT screen there with the different modes, really cool, really easy setup. Electrically operated windscreen as well, which is really handy. So overall width is 930 millimeters, height is 1540 millimeters, seat height is 835 to 855 millimeters, because it is adjustable, and the wheelbase is 1520 millimeters. Now the dry weight is 248 kilos, so add another 12-15 kilos for your riding weight, and it's got a 20-litre tank. Right, enough of that, shall we? It is a beast. I had the previous incarnation of this, the Triumph Explorer, which was great touring bike, great all-round bike, but off-road, yes, very limited to what it could do. Let's see what this will do. Right, let's start it up, shall we? Lovely screen, lovely display here. Very nice. Right, let's get on the road. Now immediately you're definitely high up. You've got a big bulky tank in front of you with the side panels, but it's really nice display here, really easy to see, which is all switchable. Lots of different modes from this mode switch down here. You could change the riding modes as well, as say switch off the ABS, traction control for the off-road modes. Really good, really nice balance in the bends. This has always been a great riding bike. Make no mistake about it, this is a great riding bike. The seat possibly could be a little bit more comfortable for those longer journeys, but you know, nothing that can't be changed. Lovely pickup, lovely vision here, lovely vision on the TFT screen. Actually, the technology on the TFT screens for all bikes has really come on leaps and bounds now, especially for these sort of bigger bikes, the big adventure bikes. Yeah, in the bends, really nice. It doesn't want to roll with a lot of a high rate of roll. It's very gradual the way it kind of turns in. It's nice and balanced. You do feel as if you're on a big bike and you are upright. Now this bike, I would say, is a great contender for me for the touring sort of style, the long distance. I'm upright, I'm sat upright, really nice controls, easy to reach, lovely display, good mileage on it that I could get. and it's got a little bit of off-road capability if I need it, but also make no mistake about this, that this bike is not for serious off-road. Okay, you can use them in any way you want, but what I'm saying is, as soon as you get into really challenging off-road, then you'll find it's quite limiting, too heavy, that kind of thing. And my mind has not changed from my old Explorer, which I had, to this 1200. Is this a better bike than the previous incarnation? Well, I've got to say there isn't a great deal. Now, what I would say, well, this nice little feature, they got a quick shifter on here, so you just, you know, you're riding along and you just knock it down, knock it up. There you go, knocking it down, then knocking it up. 1, 6 gear, easy. Don't even you have to use my hand. But the clutch is silky smooth, really nice, silky smooth. On the last bike I had from Triumph, it was silky smooth as well, really nice, lovely position. Now obviously you got all the extras here, you can have the boxes and everything. So, you know, my son loved my old Explorer because he could sit on the back and he could lean back on the big box, and it was great. So as an overall bike, it is brilliant. Riding, as you can expect from Triumph, wow. Braking here, you really do know that you're braking on this bike. It does suffer with a bit of diving on braking. The last Triumph Explorer had the exactly same thing. This is a little bit, let me try it again. Yeah, you do dive a little bit. It's not so dramatic, but you do dive a little bit. I mean, obviously you can adjust the settings for that and all that kind of stuff. But you get up to riding speed, road riding speed, really effortlessly. And you feel as if you're on a solid bike. You feel as if you're on a bike that is, you've got a big tank, but beneath you the engine is a narrow profile. Unlike the, you know, the BMW, which is a big wide engine, big monstrosity of an engine, but the weight on that is great as well. Lovely balance. This is exactly the same. Lovely balance, lovely weight, into the bends. Just knock this down. Oh, lean it in. Beautiful, beautiful, really good. It doesn't feel loose, it doesn't feel as if it wants to get away from you at all. Really nice bike. As I say, I'm looking for possibly a tourer bike, possibly to step up, not necessarily to get rid of my Harley, but maybe to have another bike that will be better for the long distance. Maybe I'm looking at this kind of bike again for a bit of off-road capability, but I am also looking for a much smaller bike for the off-roading that I would do. And this bike just isn't small enough, lightweight enough to do off-roading. You know, proper off-roading when I say that, because you're going to drop your bike. If you're worried about dropping an expensive bike, never take this off-road. But it is really capable off-road, but you've got to know its limitations. And it is a really nice bike to ride on the road, off-road, as long as the trails are hard, compacted, relatively wide, absolutely fine. What you do have a problem is anytime you get into rutted stuff, it's slimy, wet, whatever, you have to start manhandling the bike. They really are just too big and bulky. And then anytime, let's say you have to drop the bike, you have to pick it up, it gets really tiring after a while. And because you're so high up and you're so bulky, that's why it becomes quite challenging, really hard work to ride this bike in an off-road setting. Suspension wise, it's really responsive and it's really smooth. Braking, it really does capture those front brakes are really good. When you're going off-road, you know, if let's say you ever did, you'd have to be really careful with those front brakes, you know, use a lot more of the rear brakes. But you know, standing up here, yeah, lovely balance, easily maneuver this bike. Yeah, sort of stood up on the bike here on the pegs. Nice, very nice indeed. This feels lighter than the old Triumph Explorer. It feels as if they've shed some pounds. I mean, I don't know if they have or not. You'd have to go back into the specs, of course. It feels a little bit lighter to handle, a little bit lighter to maneuver. If you're looking for a... Oh, yeah! Lovely! If you're looking for a bike to do a bit of touring, bit of long distance riding, probably all year round riding, then probably look no further from this style of bike. If you're looking for a bike that is an all-rounder, but not necessarily a master of anything, then kind of look towards this bike as well. But in its kind of designated area of being an adventure bike, it ticks so many boxes. It's amazing. It's got all the mod cons, it's got all the settings that you'll ever need. You know, so many people would bemoan about the electronic suspension these days. I never had an issue with it, I've got to say. I mean, it was always really good on my old Triumph Explorer, and this is no different. So it's really good. It really sets it up really well for you. But sometimes you want a bit of that manual fine-tuning, which you really kind of have to, you know, work out yourself, really. If you're looking for a bike that you want to do a lot of adventure riding, you know, off-road, onto trails, narrow trails, that kind of thing, well, you could do it, but you'll end up scratching your bike, dropping your bike, all that kind of stuff, and it will be really hard work. Now, if you're looking to lose weight and you want to work out, then I would say definitely get this. But if you're looking for just a more pleasant off-road riding experience, or a better, more fun off-road riding experience, there are better bikes to do it. There are more capable bikes. But this, let's say if I'm going on a big tour, and at the end of the tour I've got some gravel tracks that I need to ride on, that kind of thing. Well, look, this is perfect, because you got all that longer distance riding, the touring capability, you're comfortable and all that kind of good stuff, but you're going to have to be able to ride off-road in a kind of controlled way, where the bike is designed to ride off-road. You've got better clearance, you've got under engine protection, all that kind of stuff. So whilst it is capable, you're going to have to use it in limited ways. It is silky smooth though. This engine, this 3-cylinder, this 1215cc, is silky smooth. It's a lovely engine. You know, this 1200 they got. And look, you know, when we talk about going on-road, off-road, this is the on-road version, but there's not a lot of difference between on-road and off-road, I've got to say, apart from the wheels, the spoke wheels. But when you talk about tyres for off-road, okay, so the first Triumph Explorer that I had just the standard road tyres, as it were. They've got a little bit of extra latitude on them for off-road riding. They were absolutely fine. 95% of the off-road riding that I was doing, even in the wet, was fine. The only times it really struggled, or I could not achieve what I wanted to achieve, was if I was up a steep hill in muddy conditions and the bike just wouldn't go, or when it was really slippy, slimy clay soil and the bike just wanted to go all over the place. But apart from that, it's fine. You get knobblies for that kind of 10-15% extra that you want, and so that's what it, you know, that's what it was. But you know, for if you're just going to go on dry trails, let's say, just a normal road tires would be absolutely fine. Trust me on that. They'll be absolutely fine. So what can I say about this Triumph Tiger 1200? It is a cracking bike, and yeah, all I would say is possibly on the comfort level on the seat, not so great. It is a tall bike to get on and off, so when you're cocking your leg over, you really do feel, yeah, you have to lift it high over. But the riding position once you're on it is fantastic. Ergonomically, it's brilliant. You know, the mod cons on it, it's brilliant. You know, traction control, ABS, cruise control, all the TFT screen is really nice as well. Probably not the best I've seen, probably not the brightest and clearest. I think the BMW and the Moto Guzzi have kind of beaten it on that. But overall, this bike is brilliant, really good. If you're only going to use it for day-to-day road riding, touring, that kind of thing. Off-road riding, very limited. But anyway, look, is it for me? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a contender. I hope you found that useful. A couple more videos coming, but don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you again on the next video. Ta-da now.